Field Service is a great tool from Salesforce for any type of mobile operative to do just that, operate from their mobile device. But if you want to create a fully customized report, forms, and get things signed, you're going to need PDF Butler to help. Our example today is someone that does inspections of large manufacturing equipment and also offices. In this short demo, we'll see how once set up, a field service user can launch a document from the field service app, but by actually using a shortcut to the record in the regular Salesforce app, but with one click. First, let's take a look at how the report would look on a computer. So we are on the work order record here. Our solutions can work on any standard or custom object, and we can see some details on the record, but also we've got a related asset and some work order line items. So let's see how the document's going to look once it's produced. It's going to include all of that kind of headline information from the work order, but we're going to want all of the other things to kind of show up nicely on a report once the work is done, right? Okay, so the work order overview, we've got some status kind of key here. The work order details, this image is coming from the files on the work order, and it's got this blue border. And I'll be going through some kind of different kind of formats as we go through to kind of show what we can do with PDF Butler. And this is essentially a Word document. You know, that's what we use as our template. So there's really no, or there's not many limits to what you can kind of do. The asset information is then also included. I've got some formatting here, red and green of, the dates kind of in the past. And then the serial number I've just, kind of made italics there. And then the work order line item data. So we've started a new page because we want to try and keep, the formatting succinct. We've got some pictures of the door that I'm sat next to here. Again, the kind of install dates and end dates I've put in a single line here. And then I think I've used a screenshot there of the report itself as well. Then work order line item 2, I've just used the same image a couple of times to show that we can have the image of the work order line item, but then the child items as well. And as we can see, this second step doesn't have any images, so we'll go in and we'll change that, and then later on we can get this side as well. So that's how it looks on the computer, but let's have a look and see how it looks on the phone. So if I go into the field service app, we can see that I've got a notification in there. That must mean I've had a work order assigned to me. There we go. Okay. Oh, and the work order I've scheduled is actually for last week. I'm a little bit behind for this. Here we go, last Wednesday. So we open up the work order, and again, we can see the work order line items are put together in a certain way here. So actually the child items still come up. So that last one didn't have any images on. So let's go onto that, and let's add something to this. So if you've ever used field service, you'll know that you can take images, and I'm going to take a picture of the window above me there. Let's go back to the work order, and then you see this action section at the bottom here. That's what I'm going to click on. Let's move my mouse out of the way, and we've got a bunch of actions, but I've put the one that I'm going to use for this. And what is it now? Generate service report. They're the second one. So I hit that. What that does, did I hit it hard enough? There we go. It goes into Salesforce. It picks up the record that we're talking about, and it generates the document that we want. I'm not pressing anything else. This is just loading again for the first time today on mobile. And there we go. So we've got the same report we saw before, a little bit small on my phone screen. It looks nicer on an iPad maybe if you field service people have got that. And there's that extra image that we've got at the bottom there, which I've taken of the skylight above me. Now, I do have the option to zoom in. So there's a little plus minuses button there. I can use to kind of look a bit closer if I need to. But then, this has got the ability, as you can see at the top, to either sign on screen or send it off to Sign Butler. But maybe I'm not kind of fully finished with this. Maybe what I need to do is actually send this to the customer, just an email. We can obviously have multiple actions on these documents for them to look over, and then I need to get them to sign maybe the new contract. But maybe before we do that, we want the customer to be able to comment on the work done. and save that on the records. So we can give them a nice form graphically, however you like, from the mobile. They can fill in feedback, either, using your mobile device, tick the boxes, whatever needs to be done. And that's going to do two things. It's going to fill in the response field. So let's find where that would be in here. So on the work order, we've put a little description and then responses. So this is going to come from the customer via form Butler. And maybe, your field service workers can't even see that. Perhaps it doesn't show up on that final report. It's up to you. But let's see how we can do that. Okay, so section 2 of our little demonstration here, the form Butler element. So again, let's take a look on the PC so we can see it a little bit better than maybe you can on the phone. And it's going to say, yada yada, we hope everything went well. This is obviously all customizable. And then some instructions about what they need to do. So they've got the option they're going to be able to click to agree that a stage is complete, and then they can also fill in their feedback. Now this is just a preview. If I press send checklist, which again, we can see we can do, if I go into the work order and go into the actions, we've got those same actions that you can set up. But if I was to save that, then you can see I've got the ability to open it on screen here, and I'm filling it in straight away. I can actually fill in some of it from here. I can press save and I can come back to it. So let's have a look at how this would appear on a mobile. And it looks, of course, the same, just again, a little bit small, but you can see very small because I'm using an iPhone here and putting it onto my computer. I can see this, I can zoom in with my fingers. We filled in that previously, so maybe, I needed to walk around the building. I've saved my progress and I can say, oh yeah, actually that one is complete. So I'll tick that one off and I'll complete the second one as well, but I'll leave the third and I'll say needs cleaning or something like that. And that's going to autocorrect for me. I press submit on that. I get, here's my option for signing. So I can sign my name very poorly. Press sign, and that's going to also put the kind of signature down. That isn't an e-signature as such. That's not like, kind of a court of law type signature. We obviously provide that. That's just a squiggle one to say that, I've kind of completed that form. We're going to do the signature bit in the next bit. So, but what that's done, if I go to my related objects here, you can see that they've gone, those first two that we tick the box have got completed now as the status rather than in progress. And the second one, if we go into that, we can see my needs cleaning action has popped in there as well. So really quite a nice way to graphically allow your clients, customers to be able to, complete this information themselves. Now I'm going to set up a few other bits. You might notice, we've got some prices and totals and quantities here before we do the last bit, which is signing a contract. Okay, so we're going to go into field service again. What I've done is added some, other information against each of these work order line items. We're going to now do the last bit of the puzzle. It's the contract. We want something signing, but we don't want to have to leave the mobile device to do all this. I'm just showing you, Salesforce on the left-hand side here, but everything we've done, everything we provided to the customer, you can be doing on the mobile device and from the mobile device. Some things you might want to send to email, you might not want to hand them over, a teeny tiny phone like I've got here, but you can do. We've got the ability to do that. So I'll show you a couple of different ways in which we can get a contract signed. So I've added some extra detail to these work order line items just to show you that we can pull data from them. On the phone now, what I'm going to do, actions part, if I hit so it's sort of springy. There we go. Sign service contract. So this is the sort of situation where you want Brian, the internal, user of field service, to sign it first. So I'm going to confirm that I've got control. I'm going to look at this contract. I know it's all going to be fine. So I've just got to scroll to the bottom and say, yeah, I'm going to sign this. Now Brian's allowed to do a squiggle, right? Because he's your internal user. And I'm going to say this is Brian's, that's not bad actually, signature. And then now this is the sort of situation where the next signer is going to be the customer. So you're going to spin your phone around and give it to them. So you say, whoops, current signer is John Smith. By clicking continue, John Smith confirms having control. Now, you don't want to get into the situation whereby Brian is halfway home, he's forgotten to get this signature, and he's going to sign it himself with a squiggle, right? So as I go to sign the document here, it's going to request a one-time password. Now, we've all dealt with these for many years now. Deliveroo asks for your code, or your Uber, or if you're just trying to sign into something, you're going to get that. Now, it's sending to an email, but you can send this to a text message as well. So I'll press request, and it will be pretty quick. And I've set it up so that it's gonna come to my Gmail and pop up on this phone. But actually, it's not going to, because I'm using a certain focus. There's the code 986512. 986512. And that's going to prove that I am John Smith. I've got access to my email, and I am agreeing to this document. Signing that, and there's a 2-person signer document from the field service app that's then going to be saved in Salesforce. Everyone gets a copy, and you haven't had to leave the mobile device. Okay, so that's that document signed on the mobile. And if I now go back to the work order, and I go into related items, then we're going to see that we've got a service contract that's been signed. I can click on this, and you can see you've got those work order line items, the quantity, the price, and the total kind of being worked out there as well on the document. So that might be separate maybe to the agreed upfront original cost. There might be some things you wanted to add kind of ad hoc on the way. And there we've got my squiggly signature, Brian, at a certain time, and then the one-time passcode to prove that it was John Smith. So there's lots of different options in terms of signing. You don't need to use it like this. You might have more signatures or signatories than this. You might want to do it in a certain order. This is just one little example to show that everything can happen on the mobile if you want to. So if you want to know anything more about our field service capabilities, or PDF Butler, Form Butler, Sign Butler, or any of the rest of our suite, get in touch today, info@pdfbutler.com.